Hello, my holistic homies, and welcome to another episode of Holistic Made Easy TV. I am your host, Andy, and I am super pumped for today's episode because it's about my favorite topic, food. Several years ago, I was diagnosed with autoimmune issues. My wife and I went to all kinds of doctors. We saw all these conventional medicine doctors and just weren't getting the results that we really wanted. And so we kind of turned, 180 degrees and went towards holistic medicine, holistic lifestyle, started looking at holistic eating. And so food is one of those things that really helped us get on the right track, really watching what we were putting in our ingredient lists and what we were putting in our food that we were creating at home. Fast forward to now, and Holistic Made Easy is focused on bringing hope to the hopeless through products, services, and education that establishes a strong relationship while providing holistic information that is accessible and made easy for people to understand. So today I'm super excited because I've got Rachel and Mark from Nick Sticks and Wenzel Farms. And months ago, my wife and I came across Nick Sticks. We started having them. Our 5-year-old son loves them. He has them as his night snack almost every evening right before bed. So we've come to really love the company, and I'm super excited again to have Rachel and Mark join us. So thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, before we start, I always like to do something quick and fun, like a get to know you round. So if you wouldn't mind, each of you maybe sharing one or two things that are unique to Rachel and Mark that most people, may not know, maybe places you've lived, a hobby, something about your family, odd talents that you have, something like that. Rachel, I'll let you go first.
Sure. So I went 26 years of my life not knowing that I was born with 2 extra bones in my foot, my right foot.
Wow.
Yeah. So I didn't know until, I was starting to have some pain and ended up going in for an MRI, and the doctors were like, this is very odd. We've never seen this, especially like in a foot, because it's relatively very small area to have extra bones. So that's something pretty interesting. So, I didn't really know until, just this year, just maybe a couple of months ago. So
that is interesting.
I always thought that was pretty.
So I'm going to say 2 things about that. First of all, that's going to throw all of our chiropractors for a loop, because I was actually just talking to a chiropractor about all the bones in the body, and she has a dog named Talus, and which is a bone in your foot, I believe. And so that's very interesting. And secondly, I wonder if did you absorb a twin or something like that?
Right? They have no idea. I had some pain in my foot. It's been going on for, a while. So I ended up doing physical therapy for a few months, and we never would have ever known, we were doing physical therapy for something that was, a bone. One, you can't really do anything about that except to get it removed if it's causing issues.
Yeah.
So that's, it's just funny, but no, they have no idea. They think it might be genetic. They think I might have just was born with it and just always had it, and they don't really know.
Interesting. Very interesting fact. Okay. And how about you, Mark? Can you beat the 2 bones in the foot?
I don't think so, but I think something that most people don't know about me is I love to sing karaoke. Ooh. And we were down in Nashville just in February, right before all the kind of COVID restrictions hit. And I went out to the kind of main karaoke bar right on the strip and went in there by myself, and I was in there singing karaoke and, mixing and mingling with the people who were there. But I went right up on the stage, like by myself, just something I enjoy doing. So.
That is awesome. Cool. Well, I used to be Jordan Rubin's assistant. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but he started Garden of Life and Ancient Nutrition, and he's got a huge ranch. Actually, we may talk about that a little bit later, but he's got a huge ranch out in Missouri that has all kinds of bovine on it and stuff. But he loves karaoke as well. And he actually, are you guys familiar with Michael W. Smith?
Oh, absolutely.
So,
I am.
So Jordan went to his house a few weeks ago and did karaoke with him at his house. And so Jordan is a huge fan of karaoke, and he did like 8 songs with him. And he knew every word left and right. It was so funny. So that's awesome. So maybe we'll get you to sing a tune here on the end.
Oh, no. I don't think so. I'm not that bold, Andy.
Okay.
Mark.
So you guys do some things that are very different with carnivore snacks and other companies, and we'll get into that just a little bit later. But I've been blessed to experience Nick Sticks for the better part of a year now, realizing that it's more than just a typical jerky stick. I really appreciate how Nick Sticks goes that extra mile when considering the nutrient capacity, the sourcing that you guys do with holistic, ingredients, grass-fed, that kind of thing. So to start, can you guys tell us some history, maybe the vision that started Nick Sticks, Wenzel Farms, as well as how you both got involved?
Yeah, I think I'll start that, Andy. Nick Sticks it was started by Nick Wallace, the founder, and named after Nick Wallace. And Nick's journey is very similar to yours. As a young man, he had developed cancer, which is obviously, different than your story, but he had these health issues. A lot of those, people saying that, not giving him a lot of hope. So he started looking into better ways of eating, and that's what inspired him to develop Nick Sticks. And he still owns Wallace Farms, and they still do a lot with the grass-fed movement, but that's kind of where it started. How we got involved is we purchased the company in 2017. Wenzel's Farm, as you, I think, alluded to, we're in Marshfield, Wisconsin. We've been around since 1949, but in 2017, we really wanted to reach into the natural channel with this type of product. So we acquired Nick Sticks, and we brought it in-house. We make it here. Still using the same philosophies that Nick originally had, same ingredients. And in fact, we've actually been able to pull the grass-fed beef and source it here in the U.S. recently.
Oh, great. Excellent. Okay. And is there a specific core value or motto that you guys use around Wenzel Farms or Nick Sticks that you could share with our audience? If there's anything specific that kind of you pinpoint for your motto?
Well, Nick Sticks, the slogan's all the goodness, none of the garbage. But I mean, really, when we go to trade shows, we tell everybody it's the cleanest ingredient deck on the market. I mean, you won't find a snack stick that's cleaner than a Nick Sticks. And I think, Rachel can kind of expand on what's not in it. Rachel can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
So
well, go ahead, Rachel. Go ahead.
As Mark alluded to, it's a very clean ingredient deck. We really pride ourselves on it being, like I said, just really clean. So there's a list of things. So we're going to have no MSG. There's no antibiotics. There's no sugar. There's no nitrates. There's no nitrites. No hormones. No artificial colors. It's certified gluten-free. It's Whole30 approved and paleo certified. So we really wanted to hit home as far as, a clean ingredient deck for the consumers.
Gotcha. And one of the things that makes Nick Sticks unique is the attention to the grass-fed, pasture-raised, that kind of thing. So maybe we'll go a little more into that. Could you give some insight on the decision, maybe Mark, you could do this, why you chose to focus on those specifics of cleaner meats? What drew you to Nick in that instance? Because, a lot of us have heard of all these different terms. We've got organic, cage-free, pastured, natural, grass-fed, organic, all those things. How do those terms differentiate between each other in the labeling, the verbiage? And what was it about Nick that you said, oh, we need to get involved with this?
Well, I think, Nick had such a great following with the people that he was reaching. So I think there was just an alignment with kind of the customer that we wanted to reach. But as far as kind of the differences, I think the big thing about grass-fed is just about how the animals are taken care of, and with free range as well. And I think even if something's organic, it doesn't necessarily mean, that it's, that it's grass-fed or that it's, cage-free.
That's
so
right.
We feel that grass-fed is it's more important to our values than even organic would be.
Gotcha. And to go to that, I know that you guys have different sourcing of products for each one. So you have beef, you have turkey, you have chicken. Is that across the whole line, or is that strictly to the beef that is grass-fed, or how about the chicken and turkey?
Yeah, so it's across the line. Well, the beef is grass fed, but the turkey and chicken is free range.
French. Okay, gotcha.
So that's kind of the difference.
Gotcha. Um, and you guys both may be able to answer this in a different way because of the different departments that you're in. But what would you say is the biggest hurdle that you've seen or had to overcome with your customers' demographic? What kind of change would you like to see specifically in the meat stick business or industry as a whole when it comes to jerkies, bars, sticks, those kind of things? So kind of what are those hurdles that you've had to overcome? And then what would you like to see changed?
There's a couple things. One, it's just super competitive. So when Nick Sticks got in 2012, it was the first stick to use natural nitrites through celery juice back in 2012, and kind of got a leg up on everybody and did really well on Amazon and online. And now everybody's entering the marketplace.
Right.
And with our Wenzel brands, it's the same thing. So meat sticks are very hot right now, but everybody wants to make them. And then I think another challenge is when we acquired the brand back in 2017, it was really our desire to source domestically, and it was very tough to find domestic sources that could be grass-fed, grass-finished, year-round. Obviously the northern part of Wisconsin, it's kind of hard to put a cow in the pasture and it's 20 below zero. But
right.
So it was very challenging us to find domestic sources. But it was certainly worth that, because now we can bring everything. If you're going to bring something in from Australia, and a lot of the great companies do it, you're going to have to bring it in frozen. I mean, you're not going to bring it in, fresh, just due to the transportation time.
Sure.
But yeah, so it was nice to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. And what about you, Rachel? Like from a marketing standpoint, anything different than what Mark shared?
No, not really. As far as a marketing standpoint, the biggest thing is, it's a very competitive market. So whether we're on social media, whether you're purchasing even in a convenience store, there's so many different options,
Mm-hmm.
Even going to Amazon, there's so many options. So standing out and really trying to push the product into the consumer's hands, because we very much so believe in our product and stand behind our product, and know that as soon as you try our product, you're gonna be like, wow, like the taste is there. It's very good. It's very flavorful, and it's very clean deck. So, very similar to what Mark said, but definitely in the marketing segment as well.
And
Go ahead. I was going to say, Andy, is another thing that I think we're really proud of is we make the product right here in Wisconsin. So it's great to, make the grass-fed beef and the turkey and make it here in Wisconsin. I think there's a lot of companies out there that they market themselves as maybe doing so, but they're really they're not making their product. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think people get the false perception that they make their own products.
Gotcha. Yeah. And I'll say this too, to both of your points, because of the ingredients. One of the things, I mean, we try a lot of stuff, obviously at Holistic Made Easy, we have stuff coming in every week, and one of the things that really stuck out was the texture that you guys have compared to others. And I don't know why that is, but almost like, when you bite into a filet mignon, it kind of melts in your mouth. And that's what I would say about your guys' sticks. They are so tender and juicy. I was really surprised at how you were able to kind of encapsulate that integrity of the meat when you bite into it. That's just my personal note that I've noticed.
Yeah. And one thing I want to say is when we tried to make it here and we started bringing it in house, it took us 13 tries to kind of get the recipe down, and so there was definitely some growing pains, but the fact that we naturally smoke the products with our smoking process, I mean, it's just a hint of smoke,
right?
But I think that adds a lot to kind of who we are as a brand.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, kind of switching gears here. So one of the things I love to ask my people when I do interviews is what are a couple of your favorite biohacking products, devices, services, or practices that you use regularly for yourselves that Holistic Made Easy audience might be better for knowing. Like some of mine, like I do, in the morning, I always take a walk. I do my meditation and walk. I do a sauna at night. I try to exercise every day, take my supplements. I'm getting into trying to do cold showers and cold water immersion. But maybe you guys have done some other things. I know being around the farm world, earthing and reconnecting to Mother Nature and those kind of things come up a lot with the farmers that we work with. But anything you guys do specifically that really gets you going for the day or gets you ready for bed, to relax, or anything like that you can share with our audience?
Yeah, I'll start on that, Andy. I mean, every morning I start in prayer, and then I go into an exercise routine. I usually run like I run 4 days a week, 25 hours a week. I find that I've got a lot of nervous energy, so the running really helps kind of balance some of that out. Every night before I go to bed, I read every night at least a half an hour to an hour just to kind of calm myself down. So I think that's been a great thing. Living here in Marshfield in a rural community, sometimes I get to bike to work, which is great. I go home for lunch every day and get to make a sandwich and a salad. So there's a lot of things that I do. Obviously, being in a leadership position has a lot of demands on my time, and so all those things help.
Yeah,
to provide balance.
Do you, when you read at night, do you read on your phone, a tablet, an actual paper book? What do you normally choose?
I prefer a book. I'm kind of old school that way. I like the kind of book in my hand, but with COVID, I haven't been able to get to the library, so I have been downloading some books on my phone. So I've been reading my phone recently.
What are the latest 2 books you've been reading?
I'm reading a series, and I apologize to the author, but I'm reading this kind of Christian mystery romance series right now, and I'm in book 3 of 5, and it's in Alaska, and she's a really great writer. I apologize for not remembering her name, but that's what I'm reading right now.
Okay.
I'm also reading some Ravi Zacharias. I love reading his stuff. He died last week, and he's a kind of a philosopher and a deep thinker, and so I love reading his stuff as well.
Yeah, I went to a conference up in New York. Well, actually, I worked up there, and he was one of the speakers throughout the week while we were up there. I was up there for about 2 months. I used to play bass, and I was a musician up in a resort up there, and he spoke. And I fell in love with him the first time I heard him. It was just such a cerebral thinker.
Yeah, he's such a humble guy too. I mean, for all the success he's had and how well known he is, just very humble guy.
Yeah. And how about you, Rachel? Any suggestions on what our audience could do to better themselves?
Of course, yeah. So recently, I've definitely cut out all processed foods, which has really helped with a lot of inflammation that I've had, just in my body and my joints. So I've noticed that has helped, dramatically. I've also increased my water intake, which is something I've normally really bad at doing, consuming enough water, but I think I'm up to about 120 ounces of water a day. So my goal is hopefully, a gallon, we'll see. But overall, that has just seemed to increase energy. Your mind becomes a lot more, focused and clear and crisp. And then I have recently just finished, but I do a Bible study. I actually do it with my future mother-in-law, and we're reading a book, The Purpose-Driven Life by Pastor Rick Warren. Yep. And he's really great. And it's really neat how he has set out the book where you read a chapter a day, and it takes you 40 days. So you read a chapter a day, and then my Bible study is every single day. So we talk every single day about the previous chapter, and the whole key to it is to not move forward in the book too fast, and to really just think about and reflect on the previous chapter that you just read. So that has just been great, and we actually just finished it, and our next book is coming, I believe, this coming week or next week. So June 2nd it says. So, and we're going to do it again. So that's been awesome.
Great. Good for you. Those are awesome points, guys. So let's go on to any exciting or noteworthy news maybe that all of our holistic homies would like to know about Nick Sticks, like maybe new stores that you guys are picking up, anything new in that department, or new flavors, new functions. I don't know, any products you've got developed that are coming beyond the sticks. Anything you want to throw out there that can get our people excited over the next 6 months?
Yeah, Andy, I saw in some of your Facebook posts you had a picture of kind of 7 flavors fanned out in one of your posts, and our newest flavors are beef stick with pea protein, and that's definitely our most exciting development. We believe we're the first snack company in the country to do a blend of beef with pea protein. It's 30% pea protein, which makes it 30% plant-based. We're really excited about that for those people that want to eat less meat for various different reasons. So we're extremely excited about that, and we just had a press release last week on that.
Awesome. Good. Have you guys thought about doing like bagged jerky or like the bars, like Epic bars or anything like that? Has that entered the conversation at all?
We've got some jerky in the works. Nick's had jerky. It was 4 years ago we had jerky, and there were some things in the jerky that aren't in the sticks, such as brown sugar, and so we've been working on reformulating a recipe for a couple of years now, and we're getting closer. So I would expect in the next 6 to 12 months that we should be launching jerky.
Cool. So maybe there's an audience member listening right now, and they're watching and thinking, I'd like to try Nick Sticks, but I can't handle spicy foods, or something along that line. What would you say to answer, some of the, I don't know, you guys probably have frequently asked questions all the time that come up with people, apprehension on this or whatever. Any specific thing come to mind that you want to address that comes up over and over again, or anything like that?
I think the biggest question we get is there something in there that the label doesn't have listed? And when we took over the brand, we used to have, it would say spices, and we ended up breaking out every single spice. Just on a kind of USDA level, you can put the word spices and it can cover a gamut of, red pepper, peppers, different items. But with our consumers really wanting to know what's in the product, we list every single ingredient on the package. So if it's not on the package, it's not in the product. And I think that's the question I see the most. Is it dairy free? Yes, it's dairy free. I mean, we definitely want to declare everything that's in the product.
Gotcha. And have you guys dealt with anybody that's doing carnivore diet that had a major transformation, or an elimination diet, or even, I mean, you talked about the pea protein. I just recently did an interview with a chiropractor who was a vegan for 6 or 7 years, and she has switched to the exact opposite and now doing carnivore, and she said that it's completely changed her body. Like, I mean, her eczema is gone, her wrist pain and joint pain is gone, all those things. So, and I know that there's some controversy out there about maybe your blood type is better for a vegan, whereas a different blood type might be better for a carnivore diet. But have you guys experienced anybody that's had some major transformations like that? Obviously Nick did, because he created the company. But any other cool stories like that you've come across that you'd like to share?
Have you seen anything like that, Rachel?
We get a couple of people who reach out to us and say, that just by switching to a cleaner product has overall helped their health. And that goes back to, inflammation, cutting out gluten, cutting out, just some of those, artificial colors, stuff like that. They've, definitely experienced. We have people that reach out, I would say frequently, that say that. Nothing that's, nothing that sticks out too much. But I think, a big thing is, we're a meat stick company, and we want to stick to knowing and having our audience know that we produce a clean product for them to consume for a healthy lifestyle.
Great.
one thing I'd like to add to that, Andy, is when I go to Expo West, I've been there a couple of years, and when I go there, I come back so pumped because the people are just, it's so great to have people come up to you and thank you for making a good product, a healthy product, and thank you for not putting sugar in it and for not putting this in it. And just, I will say with this brand, people are so passionate about what they're purchasing. So it's just, you have to go to really experience it. But I come back every time just completely charged up, just being able to be in front of people. I mean, it's one thing to take a call, but to just talk to people face to face and to see how in love with the product they are, it's just really great.
Yeah, Expo West is a beast. I've gone a couple times, and it's just, I try to get around to everything, and it's almost impossible. I mean, it is the largest event I've ever been to. It's so crazy, but we may have met actually, Mark, at one point, because I tried to hit every single one of the clean eating places. So our holistic homies can now find Nick Sticks on our website. So Mark and Rachel have been generous in allowing us to do some awesome promotion here. And so you can go to holisticmadeeasy.com. And they've extended a special offer to our listeners. If you go to Holistic Made Easy's website, you can click on the Nick Sticks link. It's right there on the front page. Use the code when you check out at Nick Sticks, Live Holistic, all one word, LIVEHOLISTIC, all one word at the checkout in the cart, and you'll receive 10% off all the way through June of that order. So we thank you guys for helping us promote that. And thank you so much, Rachel and Mark, for giving us your time today. Is there anything else that you guys would like to add or ask before we close out here?
I think one final thought is, I mean, we are a pretty, small company. So when, we're connected to what's going on with our customers, we're right in there. I mean, I'm obviously the president here, and, Rachel's our marketing coordinator. And so when we hear from customers, it goes all the way to me. So we have customer service people that handle people's questions, but I see all those comments. So I think I just want people to know that because we're a small company, you get that kind of personal touch where everybody's involved with what's going on.
Yep. That's awesome.
I really like that you added that point, Mark. And I want people to know that if they ever have any questions about anything, they could, always just give us a call, shoot us an email. They can email me or Mark directly, and we will be happy to, answer those questions or set up a call and talk to them about anything that they may need or have questions about.
Yeah, and that's huge. That's huge that you guys do that, because customer service is so important, and it's so hard to come by good customer service. And the fact that you guys pride yourself in that is amazing. So thank you. So, like I said, in our household, we truly enjoy the Nick Sticks. We take advantage of them daily. We're looking forward to you guys having new products coming out. The pea protein addition is awesome. The jerky is going to be even better, I think. And I truly hope that we can do this again down the road as you guys grow and as we grow and the product line expands. Also, I want to thank all of our homies for supporting our local and national services, the brands and products that we endorse. These businesses bring us all one step closer to wellness in mind, body, and spirit. And this is Andy with Holistic Made Easy. And until next time, eat clean, live green, and train lean. See you guys. Thanks.